All right, good morning. Welcome back to the second round of hearings this morning. I'm glad to have, we'll do 3 more hearings this morning. First up, we have West Metro Fire Protection District, Lakewood, Colorado, and team leader Byron Kennedy.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. It is my absolute pleasure to present the West Metro Fire Protection District for your consideration. But first, I must acknowledge and actually thank the peer team members that were part of this and made all of this possible. Of course, you know, the peer team was responsible for reviewing all of the documents, for attending the site visit, as well as contributing to the report that you have before you today. One of the members was Fire Chief Ned Vanderpool of Vista Fire Department over in California. Another member, Fire Chief Scott Kujawa of Washington Township over in Ohio, as well as Chief Steve Olson, CFAI coordinator, and myself, Byron Kennedy, from Atlanta Fire Rescue Department over in Georgia. Another piece that I have to say is thank you to the West Metro Fire Protection District's personnel, more specifically Fire Chief Lombardi, Board President, their accreditation manager, Chief Steve Azzeltine, Ms. Whedon, Jennifer Whedon, as well as the local and a host of other individuals that I won't go through all of the names, but what an amazing family the West Metro Fire Protection District has. Their level of professionalism, their hospitality, and commitment to the process was obvious throughout the entire process. West Metro Fire Protection District covers more than 108 square miles within 2 counties in the state of Colorado. It's responsible for running roughly 40,000 incidents per year and enjoys many partnerships within the community that makes this organization run so well. The peer team has verified the agency is credible in all core competencies and validated the response data and as to being accurate and reliable. The site visit did produce 9 recommendations. We saw these recommendations not related to any shortfalls, they were not related to any deficiencies, but as opportunities for continuous improvement. On a special note, as leaders across the global community and global organizations are struggling each day to determine how can we look inside of our organizations to make ourselves better, West Metro Fire Protection District has actually done that. One of those initiatives, and we've talked about it extensively, involves the self-care days. How many times, and it was mentioned in the previous hearing, but how many times have our members needed just one day, needed just 2 days, just to regather themselves, to get it together, and to go on to mitigate themselves or whatever situation they're dealing with. Well, these self-care days do exactly that. It allows a member to take off a particular period of time, up to 2 days, but more specifically, it allows them to just get their stuff to handle whatever business they need to handle. It was an amazing concept. You're not using any of your leave time, but it's just 2 days. And the team over at West Metro Fire Protection District did this as the opportunity to make the members know, to allow the members to know exactly that this is what you need. If this is what you need, take it. Some members take it and some members don't. But the reality is, what a great opportunity to continue to make the organization better. So with all of that said, Mr. Chairman, through a unanimous consensus, the peer team is recommending consideration for accredited status for the West Metro Fire Protection District. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Don Lombardi. I'm the Fire Chief at West Metro Fire Rescue. This is our third accreditation process and my third accreditation process going through with all of you, so I appreciate that and want you to know what it means to our organization. I'd first like to thank our team and Chief Byron Kennedy for looking and making a thorough investigation and look and analysis of our organization. And hopefully you all got to see what they see in West Metro Fire Rescue, what we do for our community. I'd also like to take some, if you're okay with this, some indulgence. This will be my last accreditation process, so I'd like to go through a couple things. But first, I'd like to introduce the folks up here. We have our board president, Jerry Castle. We have our local 1309 president, Mike Mulcahy. Steve Azeltine is our risk manager and accreditation manager as well, and he oversees all of that. And I can't tell you the time and effort that he's put into this to make this such a success for us. And part of his team as well. Byron talked about this. Jennifer Wheaton, my executive assistant, we threw her into this, and she did this and made all of this look super, super good. And then also our data analyst and engineer, Pierce Power Quitmeyer, we threw him into this. He came on right as we were going in the middle of our accreditation process. And when you talk about analyzing data and being thrown to the wolves, he did it and did it exceptional. So I'd like to recognize him as well. And then we also have at the end down there, Michael Brewer. He is our deputy director for the Jefferson County Communications Authority, JEFCOM. Our executive director would have been here, but he has COVID today. And so Michael is pinch hitting for him as well. What I'd like to do, because you are in our neck of the woods here in Colorado, and this is my third and last time going through, I would like to recognize the folks from West Metro that are here. So if they could all stand up, please, and show all of the work that they've done. If you could all stand up, please. Thank you very much. And I'll comment on that here in just a sec, but I'd like to, if you're okay, is hand over to our board president, Mr. Jerry Castle.
Thank you. Very proud to be here today, represent the Board of Directors for the West Metro Fire Protection District. With that, I'd like to thank the peer assessment team for all the time and input to better our organization, the ultimate goal for this whole situation. So West Metro is very honored in having the third as a chief accreditation hearing. This demonstrates our commitment to provide better services to our personnel, to our taxpayers, everyone and all. So I definitely appreciate that. And I also feel that it being accredited, it lifts up our surrounding departments a little bit, setting achievable goals for them to provide better service to them, knowing their neighbors are accredited. So West Metro feels the importance of the community that we have an independent evaluation, as you people do for us, to show us our shortfalls, and we can better ourselves than an internal pat on the back, and it works out quite well. So we feel that the success comes from the importance of the collaborative relationship between the board, the staff, and our union. We were very fortunate in West Metro to be able to have that as a pat on our back. The union works great with us. It's just a complete transparency. Everything, is very good. Thank you. In closing, I'd like to again thank the assessment team and all the West Metro Fire personnel behind the scenes that provided all the information to make this a successful presentation. So thank you, everyone.
And I'd like now to hand it over to Mike Mulcahy, our union president.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. This is my first time as local president working through an accreditation process. I was here over 10 years ago as a vice president of the local and wasn't completely sold on the accreditation process. But when we did get accredited that first time, and since then the mission has been clear. Working with Chief Lombardi and the board, we never wavered from that mission and always making sure we're able to provide the best service to our citizens, and also make sure that all of our employees, local members and civilians have the best process in place to make that happen. So I appreciate everything that Chief Lombardi's done I hope the mission continues on, even though he's no longer going to be here. I'd like to be sitting at this table in 5 more years for a 4th accreditation process. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So just really quick, as I stated, this is our 3rd time going through, and as much as CFAI and CFAI have helped shaped West Metro in what we do, I'm hoping, and Carl, you remember back on the early days, I'm hoping that West Metro and our consortium has helped shape the accreditation process. And I really believe in that we work together to really raise the bar for the fire service in what we do and how we do it. And when I look at how we as an organization, and really quite frankly, we could be the poster child for accreditation when we look at how we do things from a collaborative nature, but when we do things from data-driven decisions and data-driven validation, and how we read and how we utilize all of the things that we do, but not just but to make things better, to improve, and to help support what we do. And all that drives to what we do for our community and how we serve our community. And that's really been the personal part of all of this, is how we take this process and make it that it's to West Metro and what we do and how we do it. And when you look at it, it's interesting. I was talking to somebody and they go, it's just, it's not a sticker on the truck. I go, yeah, it is. And the reason it is because as we go along and our citizens look at this and they see on the side of the truck that we're an internationally accredited fire agency, and on top of that, right next to it, that we're an ISO Class 1, which is very rare in the fire service when you look at that. But people look at that and they say that means something to them. They don't know all of the things that we had to go through and all of the things back here that our folks had to write to really look at, delve into what we do. Over almost 25 of our folks wrote to what we do for our process. It's not just me and it's not just Chief Azeltine writing this stuff. It's our organization and how we've incorporated it in our organization and how we've made it really culturalized in our organization. When you take a promotional process, accreditation is part of that promotional process and what we do and how we do it. So we very much institutionalized it and we very much culturalized it. And then when you look at from our strategic planning teams on how they're utilizing our strategic plan every single day to further our mission for our community, that makes a lot of sense for that. So when I look at this and people see that sticker on the side of our truck and they go, yep, you are something, that means something to me as a taxpayer, as a community member, and someone that supports the organization, that's what we really try to make sure that we exhibit when we do that. So I want to take this time to thank all of you, thank CFAI, thank CFAI for everything that you've done for us here at West Metro Fire Rescue and providing a path for us to do this. And again, like President Mulcahy said, the intent of this is truly continuous improvement, and it's not about one person. It's certainly about the organization and how we move forward. So with that, I want to thank you very much, and if you have any questions, we are more than happy to answer.
Thank you, and I'll open it up to commission questions. Commissioner McClintock.
Chief, congratulations on your upcoming retirement. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all the great strides you made in this report. It's a very solid report, and all the improvements that you made seem to be very spot on. I do have a couple of questions. Won't let you go that easily. Just in reference to your staffing level in your dual response houses, is that with an engine and a medic unit? Okay, and given the fact that your medic units are approximately, I'm not sure if you monitor UHU at all, but you're 65% of call volume is EMS. And in relationship, I'm guessing you go to 3 staffing because you anticipate they'll be available to respond and participate in fire suppression. But based on the busyness of those units, is there any plan moving forward to maybe consider putting the 4th firefighter on those engines like you do with the other stations?
So thank you, Commissioner McClintock, for that question. So we've actually evolved into really where we are today for our staffing, and we've looked at this quite a bit. And really, from a fire-based EMS perspective, when you look at 1710, and I actually sit on the committee for 1710, when you look at that, they do, but they don't consider fire-based EMS. And so for us, a long time ago, prior to me being the fire chief, we had in our contract, our union contract, we're going to staff an engine every year, upstaff an engine every year, so there's 4-person staffing. The union president at the time and when I became the fire chief, we looked at that and we knew that economically that may have been a bad path. And so we worked on several different things to get to the point where we are for our staffing. So when you look at this, as a fire-based EMS, our cross-staff paramedics are firefighters. And so I talked to Dr. Lori Moore Merrill on this extensively about what do we call this? And she said, you're meeting 1710 easily by tandem. So where we have an engine, there's 3. There is a medic unit there, typically a medic unit there with 2. So when they go to the fire or a fire call, typically it's in tandem. Now, again, our medic units can be out. So we've looked at what does that mean then for other medic units coming in? And because of our placement, we're confident that the most that we see now is about a minute delay, if there is any delay on there, but it's typically seconds. But if we get to, it can be up to a minute delay on there. We've looked at then the 22 critical tasks that need to be done, and we think that we're meeting that. In fact, we know that we're meeting that. So I'm confident in the plan that we have today, and I think we're now looking at the board of directors now are looking at a proposal from our strategic planning team for the standard to cover to add 2 more medic units in what we have today. So we'll have more to do that. And again, we think that will help with our UHUs, both from our medical side, but then really our response times and our tandem look at our fire response. I hope that answers your question.
That's perfect. I thank you, and thank you for the in-depth response. And the evaluation of your system continually is very important, and adding more EMS resources, of course, staying on top of that is really good. I do have just a recommendation under health and safety. You have an awesome program there that you're doing cardiac screening for your members starting at age 50. I would recommend maybe you open that to all members, or at least start maybe at age 35. But that is so valuable to get that early notification of, with the strain and stuff that we're doing in the fire service. But great job, appreciate it. I do have one question for the local president, if you don't mind, which I'm sure you won't. How do you do it? How do you get your younger members of your union to buy into accreditation? I know you did, but how do you get your members to buy in? What do you do to get them to buy in for it?
We involve them. With our strategic planning teams, it's really the key to it. It allows any one of our members to come forward, speak up, present an idea. We pride ourselves on our hiring process. We meet them. HR meets our new recruits in Academy day 1. We meet them day 2. We get there, we explain what we do as local and as a collaborative relationship, and how we got to where we're at, why they're getting hired, what's expected of them, and to have a voice. They're taught early on in Academy. They go through a respect training that allows them to feel free to speak up. The old days of you're the newest here, keep your mouth shut, keep your ears open. There's still that goes on, but we still want them to feel free to speak up to an officer, to another person, and we've successfully seen that in the firehouses. So we get to them early and provide them kind of the foundation that's been built before they were hired, and make sure they keep building that house.
Good job, and thank you.
Commissioner Keating.
First, Chief Lombardi, congratulations going through the 3rd time. As you know, in March, my department went through 3rd time. I know how much it means. I know how much you've done for the state of Colorado, and encouraging other departments to look at accreditation, so thank you for that. My question, while it's really, really simple, the solving of it is rather difficult, and that is being able to transmit a 12 lead to a receiving hospital. Can you give me any idea how that might be progressing, or I'm more curious than anything else?
So I'll make a quick comment, then I'm going to pass over to our accreditation manager because he's been working on this. So as you know, from our perspective, we've had this, and we used to do this a long time ago, and then for some reasons, the hospitals, for a variety of reasons, stopped receiving. So we're working with them on that, and we're trying to kind of move the needle with them, but I'll pass over to Chief Hazeltine.
Good morning. Thanks for the question. Upon receiving that recommendation, our EMS chief, Chief Heinel, actually went to work with our medical director right away, and they actually have quite a bit of momentum at the state level for the hospitals actually to get that capability back into the hospitals. So Dr. Lauterbach and Chief Heinel have reported that they're fairly optimistic that they'll be able to get that done by the end of the year. So we're really happy about that, and they've been working really hard on it.
Great, thank you. With the formation of the Colorado Task Force on EMS, that would probably be a very good item to bring forth to see if we can maybe make something happen statewide. So thank you.
Commissioner Dongworth.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, congratulations on your retirement, Chief Lombardi. I know you are a leader in the fire service. You recognize that way, so thank you for that. Plus 3 accreditations. That's a lot of work for you and your agency. Secondly, congratulations on the ISO Class 1. It looks like that's been achieved in the last cycle, 2018, moving up from the 3.9 to there. The other one I really like was these strategic planning teams. Seem like they're working really well for you, engaging employees and having some very positive outcomes. So congratulations for all of those. The one comment I did have was around it looks like you're struggling on your ERF on the fire side and some other areas as well, and I mean significantly off of the targets that you set. I'm just wondering, you talked about bringing some more medic units into play. Is that the strategy to move up on that, or do you have some other things you're thinking of to move closer to your targets?
Commissioner Donworth, thank you for that question. And just to, not retiring yet, end of 2025, so I have a little bit more time. And the answer to that, to what you're asking, is yes. That's why our strategic planning team for the standard of cover has looked at this to identify that if we add those 2 more medic units, not only will it help out from UHU, but certainly from our ERF to help out as well with that too. And then I'll pass over to Chief Hazeltine for more in depth on that.
Okay, thank you for the question, sir. So our ERF with fire, with the 7 rigs and then the 5 support apparatus, we have some areas in our district that are a little bit more dispersed. So we are looking at that. But one of the other issues that we're seeing is our busier areas. We've really done an in-depth look at the reliability component of that as well. So we're having to look at that from 2 sides. First, the reliability side for that first arriving unit, which putting these 2 units in will really help on that front side. And then we've done some preliminary analysis on how that will affect reliability, UHU, and ultimately that ERF downstream. But until we put those 2 rigs in service, we're not going to have the full picture of what that's going to look like. That's the first step. And then with the standard of cover strategic planning team, we're going to continue to monitor that process and look at those opportunities going forward and see what our next best step is, up to including, considering looking at, deployment studies and analysis to see where we might need additional assets, either, from a human capital perspective, additional resources in our our current facilities, or else, building other facilities as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, and sorry for being a bit early on the retirement piece, Chief Lombardi.
I just have one question in Category 5D on domestic preparedness. There's a comment in there that currently the agency identifies access to protective critical infrastructure information as not being possible. Now, knowing I've spent quite a bit of time in Lakewood because I'm involved with FEMA, and I was just there last week, and I was, is the federal center what you're referencing there, that access to those critical infrastructures and other federal aid or federal institutions?
So we have 2 contracts. One is with the Denver Federal Center, and there is some sensitive areas in there. In fact, a nuclear reactor. That's not secret. But then, and then also National Renewable Energy Lab as well, where there's a lot of things up there. So there are some areas that we can and can't do. So, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Any other questions from commissioners? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion by the commission? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, West Metro.